first thing I'm doing right now is just placing in all the background trees. Wipe some of this off. Probably shouldn't use paper towel, but a rag instead. I should find a rag and use that. I'm going to come here and take this from about here to about, I'm just looking at that angle. So it kind of comes like this. And then this comes like this. Just come in. Smooth that off. Next, we'll come on this side. No, it's about the same height. About there. So I'm going to take this ruler. I'm going to come and look at the patterns here. I'm going to come and look at the patterns here. And there's this right past this gate. There's this little bit of grass. And then here, this is the dirt road, and then there's snow over it, but I'm just going to come and fill and block in all that area there. I'm not using any spirits or mineral spirits or turpentine. I don't want any sinking in. And plus it stinks. I don't like the smell of it. Okay. There we go. Kind of. This is a little bit of. I'll just take your rag and rub it. My surface is pretty porous. Even though I sanded it smooth, it's still pretty porous. I might have a little bit of sinking in. That kind of takes it. Yeah, that takes it as far as I want to take it with the raw umber. So that's the drawing. And I know there's a tree here, but I'm not going to go and put that in there until I've painted the sky. I'm just going to move this raw umber out the way. Okay, so this is lead white number 1. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not number 1, it's lead white number 2. So now I want to go and I'm going to take this white. And I'm going to add a little bit of medium into that, just so it can be a little bit more pliable and actually move it around. Okay, there we go. Ultramarine blue, and there's not much there, but we don't need much. Cobalt turquoise. And sienna. So if you look at the horizon, it's much lighter over here than it is further up. So we're going to make it lighter, and we're going to go progressively more intense and chroma as we reach further up in the sky. Although that's not very high anyways. But let's go ahead and mix this blue. So I'm going to take a little bit of this ultramarine blue. Just put a little bit more. There you go. That should be enough. So, all of this. Lead white number 2 is very stringy, as you can tell. Look how stringy. It doesn't have any fillers in, so fillers would really stabilize the color too. But this is it's called long. It's long and stringy. All right. I'm going to go add in a tiny bit of burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is an orange or a red. Consider an orange, and blue is they're complementary colors. So if you want to sort of create a more of a gray blue and take some of that chroma out of that blue, just add a little bit of burnt sienna into that. It's a little hard to mix. So I'm going to actually go and add a little bit more burnt sienna into that. Wow, so hard to handle. So I'm going to put on some lead white, and this is Williamsburg flake white. I'm just going to combine, take some of this white here, I'm going to mix it in here just to make it more pliable, you know. There we go. That's better. It's easier to work with. So I'm going to just take a little bit more sienna. A little bit more white. And I'm going to come here and add some of this burnt sienna straight into this white. This white here. Oh, too much. One thing about lead white, it's not like titanium. If you had to put this much on the titanium, it wouldn't even change the color of it because it's so opaque. This is going to be fine. I'll just add the rest of this in here. And I'll take some of this blue. Just blend it right in there. So now that I have those colors mixed, I'm going to go and take some of this blue here. Some more blue, ultramarine blue, and turquoise, cobalt turquoise. And I'm just going to darken that color for the sky. Burnt sienna just reduces the chroma. And we're going to need a little bit more cobalt. Turquoise. We're getting closer and closer to that color. We just need a little bit more. Just increments. And then it looks more like it. I might even add just a tiny bit more turquoise. This ultramarine blue. Okay, let's see how that goes. So I'm going to go and add a little bit of medium to my brush. And now I'm going to take this color here. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of raw umber because the chroma is, it's just going to be too, I just want to gray it ever so slightly. I don't want it to be pure white mixed with a little bit of color. I want to gray that color a little bit. So I'll just add a little bit of raw umber in there. And now, let's come like this. And now we'll just gradually just keep adding on a little bit more color. Mix that in there. Let's just add a little bit more there. And just make it a very gradual transition. If it's too chromatic, just add a little bit of orange into that. And just paint it right into the trees, but not too much. And then we'll keep adding a little bit gradually and keep adding more blue. Let's add a little bit of raw umber into that because it's a little, the chroma is a little too high. Chroma is the intensity of the color, how bright a color is. Not really how bright, but how intense it is. The intensity of the color. And you just blend it right into that. Just keep moving along and just blend those two colors together. Just fuse them right in. I'll keep moving that here, and that color here. Add a little bit of raw umber. I just keep moving along, right? A little too much. Grab some orange, and that will just bring that back down again. Oh, I got gloves on. I can take them off actually. I need them. Just only when I'm handling the lead white. I don't want, you know, my hands on the paint, but there's nothing on my brush. And I'll just keep moving along. Just make sure if you're going to be scrubbing your brush on your porous canvas that you're okay with messing up the brush. This one's not really that usable for straight lines anymore, so I just I can kind of just wreck it a little bit and it'll be okay. Just don't do it to your new brushes. Okay, so I just keep grabbing some more of this and we'll add more raw umber to it. There we go. And I'm just going to add a teeny little bit of more medium to that, like literally a drop. Just keep painting the sky. Actually, in fact, I can take a little bit more blue. Just deepen that color a little bit. A little bit of turquoise. raw umber is like your gray. You know, this is gonna gray your colors down. It's perfect for when you're painting landscapes. Oops, just mix that paint in. So you just add some orange and it'll just get rid of that blue. See, so it's just gradually going from dark down to light. Look at the horizon, it's always a lot lighter. We'll just keep moving along. So let's just keep moving along. Just keep adding that blue. Just gradually blend that in. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect either. It's a painting. We don't want paintings to look like a photograph. We want it to look like it was painted. So if the sky is a little blotchy, so be it. It's a painting. So don't sweat it with, you know, trying to make it perfect. I'm gonna go and put on a second layer after this anyways. So there we go. All right, so now that we have the sky in, I'm just gonna go and just add a little bit more paint to that. I prefer my brush strokes to head down instead of sideways, because here's what happens when you have light hitting, coming from here and hitting down there. If you have your brush strokes going sideways, it's going to hit this and it's going to create a bright highlight there. So it's better to have your brush strokes heading down. Let's take some more of this, just put it in here. Okay, that works. Just remember, there's going to be a tree that's going to come across right over here. So if it's not perfect, it's fine. I don't care. And there's another tree coming here, and there's going to be branches here. So, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So now that I have the sky, I'm going to start placing the shadows on the snow. So I'm going to take some of this blue, and I'm going to put it in here. So the shadows are pretty dark blue with some turquoise in there. Have a closer look. So we're going to place, it's going to be a tree here. So right along this area here, this is where the shadow is. So I'm going to take some raw umber. I'm going to put it in there. I'm just going to reduce that chroma because it's a little too bright, too intense. So I'm just going to keep putting the shadow area in. Yeah, so you can't really see past the tree here because there's some kind of, looks like some kind of shed or something on that side. But it's really hard to see it. I don't even think I'll even paint it in. And let's just keep placing this here. And there's another shadow right here. And then there's a shadow here, and it kind of looks kind of purplish to me, so I'm going to go and add in some red. Okay, I'm going to place a vermilion right over here. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this red right here. I want to make it sort of a purpley color. A little bit more blue. A little bit more red. And I'm going to place this purpley color right here. There it goes. Here's the gate. There's that section here. So here, it's about right here. That's really why that shadow is. And I actually find that it's a little bit more turquoise here. And here. So I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to use this later for my snow. I'm just going to remove all this. probably use that later from the snow. Okay, so I'm going to take this white. It's not quite white. I'm going to come here and paint in the snow. Add a teeny little dash of medium to that, but not too much because I don't want to put too much medium in my paint. Use as little medium as possible, like just barely enough. So the tree's going to come to about here. And this is where I'm going to come up with the snow. Right over here, I'll put some more snow. Oops. We'll put that coral in later, but I'm just going to go and put in the snow first. I know it doesn't look very white, but I just want to lay in my first color. And it's got a nice warm undertone because when light hits a surface, sunlight, it's always a warmer color. And the shadows are always cool. Here. And let's just keep filling this in. Teeny bit of medium. So the tree is here. Okay, and now we just keep moving along here. And that's the shadow side. We're not going for detail, we're just blocking in all wherever we see white. She has a little bit of blue tint to it. Your combo. And then on this side of the tree, you can see some snow in the background. And that's what our blocking looks like. And once this is dry, I can go and paint in the tree. But I have to wait for this to dry first. So there you go. I think I'm going to just place my white right over there. Let's grab some raw amber. Place that right there. I'm not going to be using too much, but it's good for shadows and the snow. Not just that, but also in the sky. The color of the sky, I like to mix these two colors together. Next is burnt sienna. It's a must on everyone's palette. It's like you just can't do without it. It's just such a useful color. Place this right over here. I might need a little more. Then I'm going to need the yellow ochre. So I'm just going to place my yellow ochre here. And I think that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, so now first thing I'm going to do is I want to go and paint those trees in the background. And that's the furthest trees, and they're pretty gray. They look pretty gray in color. So I'm going to go and use raw umber. Raw umber is, I use raw umber as my gray. So I'm going to grab my palette knife. And I'm going to start with white. Now, if you're using titanium white, you're going to need way less white than what I'm using. Okay, I'm using red white, and it's not opaque, and it is, it doesn't actually change the color of your paint, it just changes the value, but not crazily like titanium white does. I just find titanium white very overpowering, and honestly, this is perfectly safe to paint with. As long as you don't, if you get it on your hands, you can just wipe it off and wash it off. Just, nothing's going to happen to you, and there's no vapors coming off it, so you're not going to breathe any vapors in. Unless you're actually eating, you get it on your hands and you're eating something, then obviously it's going to be dangerous. But don't eat and don't drink while handling lead paint. You just got to be smart about it, and working with it is such a pleasure. Honestly, you'll see the difference. You get a little tube of lead white and a tube of titanium, and experiment with it. Mix the same colors, and you'll see what a huge difference it makes. I'll actually do a demonstration one of these days. I think my titanium's dried out by now because I haven't used it in so long. So now I'm going to come and add some raw umber to this because I want to bring my mixture. I'm going to add just a little bit more, just to one side of my palette here. Some areas are going to be darker and some areas are going to be lighter. Some areas way darker. And then there's some parts of it that have a little bit of, some deeper reds. Just place this here. And just wipe off your palette knife, and then grab a little bit of this orange ochre, and then just place it over here. Add a little bit more raw umber to it. You don't want your colors to be bright. You just want very muted colors with just a hint of that color in it. And then there's some lighter areas here on the side. Okay, it looks like I have a nice wide range of colors, and I think I'm just going to come here and grab some raw umber again with a little bit of ultramarine blue. And then I'm going to create deep shadow color. So I add more raw umber. Okay. So now I'm gonna put my brush in my medium. So now I'm gonna take this darker color, just mix my brush and my medium right into it. This is a very stiff brush. That's what you want. You want your brush to be very stiff so you can scrub the paint in. So I'm going to come to the bottom half here, and I'm just going to scrub all this paint in. Make a mistake, you can just come on the other side here and just wipe it off. Because you want the base of the bushes are darker because it's shadow underneath and there's light shadows. I mean, lighter light from the top, from the sky. So shadows underneath and light on top. So you just want to make these shadows a little dark. I'm basically just scrubbing my brush against the surface. I'm just scrubbing that paint on. Don't use a new brush for this. You want to use an old worn out brush. And then I'll just carry this same thing on here. Just carry it on the side. And you can barely see these trees. I'm just going with what I can see. So a little bit of the shadow in here, darker shadow. I can't really see what's going on there. Putting that in there. Even though you can't really see, just put in what you think you can see for now. Keep putting that in there. There we go. The tree's going to be right over that. You will hardly see that, so it doesn't really, it's not that important. It's not perfect. It's supposed to be an oil painting, not a photograph. You know, not a replica of a photograph. So, from what I can gather, this is quite a lot taller, and that's a lot more grayer. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this white. Just going to make this area a little lighter. Where exactly is it? It's about here. Don't use a lot of medium, seriously. Just a little bit, just enough to help your paint move. Using too much medium, it'll become out of control very quickly. And painting with very slippery paint is no fun. You don't have to make it exact. You're just painting an impression of what you're seeing. I think I'm going to make this a little taller, actually. And then you can get some darker colors and, you know, just put in some shadows. Just keep going. Just add a little bit more white and a little bit more raw under to that, just to gray it just a little bit more. And I'm just going to go and add a tiny bit of medium to that, just enough to help my paint move. You don't need much of this medium. If you're using black oil, basically you just need a little drop. Just color it in like you're using a pencil crayon, you know. Yeah. You kind of see some lot of areas here. You know, there's quite a bit of shadow in there, but you can't see it. You just gotta improvise, you know, you just gotta fill in the blanks. Create the feeling of what you're seeing. It's not about making a replica. And take some of this and just create some of that texture you see. Just adding a little bit of that darker color in there. I think we'll go and make those trees look like trees afterwards, but I just want to kind of get that in right now. And let's just see. Just kind of smooth it off a bit. Still using a bristle brush. This is the classic Egbert. It's a very stiff brush and it has quite a bit of spring. Okay, so now that we have that there, I'm gonna take another brush. It has like also a rosemary. Clips long, rosemary clips long, and this is a number 8. And I'm going to take some of this orange, okay, a little bit of yellow, add a little bit of raw umber into that. And then maybe just a tiny little dash of white, some of this. I'm going to come in here, and I notice just over here there's some grass. Much lighter though. So somewhere here, this is sort of a reddish color, but it's much lighter. Let's just put this in here. I'm going to make it a little lighter. Just going to go add a little dash of that black oil. Just work it into my brush a little bit. Not too much. Like you honestly do not want a lot of oil. Just use as little as you can. All right. Let's just come and place this here. I actually wanted to have a little bit more chroma. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to take some of this darker color and just bring this down a little bit. A little bit of burnt sienna into that. With a tiny dash of oil. Just work it into your brush. Don't drop it in your paint. Just work it in your brush and then wipe it all off with a paper towel. That's seriously all the medium you need. Just find this gate on this side. There's a dark section right here. So this past the gate here. It's another dark section. Okay. Kind of like it. I'm going to take this brush again. This is a rosemary comber, but it's kind of no longer a perfect comber, but it works. I'm going to take some of this again and add a little bit more white. Just add a little bit more of that oil back in there. More white. Dash more of the oil. So little. Now I'm just going to come here. See, the comber has a little spiky little bristles. And just use the bristles to create that texture. It's a little bit more orangey. All right. And just here and there, there's a bit of orange in there. Clear this way. It's such a small area to work, so I have to make sure that I keep my palette clear. Okay, so I have that mix of color. I don't need to throw it away because I could possibly use it again. So I'll just scrape it off my knife and place it right there. And I'll come back to that. So next, I'm going to grab some of my white. And we know that snow is not pure white. It looks white, but it isn't. It'll always have this sort of very extremely light pinkish hue to it, like a pinkish gray, almost like a purpley pink gray color, always. And in the shadows, it looks blue or purple. And light hitting the snow will have a warm color. It won't be cool. Okay, so I'm going to mix up this white and add a little bit of raw umber. Raw umber is our gray. No, it's not pure white anymore. I'm actually going to add just a tiny more dash raw umber. Okay, actually it looks like it's going to work. Just going to add that tiny dash of medium. I'm going to wipe it off. Just take the tiniest little dash. You can put up to 20% medium in your paint. I use way less. Way less. So I'll grab some of this white. And if you want it to flow a little bit more, add just another drop of medium in there, like the tiniest little drop. Now we're going to come to all the lighter areas. I'm going to paint in a second coat of snow. The tree is here, so I'm just going to come and paint a wide area. Almost has that purplish pink hue to it, so I'm actually gonna go grab some. I want to grab some alizarin crimson. I don't know where to put it. Maybe I'll just put it here. Tiny dash, like literally, this stuff is like unbelievably powerful. Tiny dash of red. Let's add a little bit more medium. And then just keep painting this in. Grab that red. And add a little bit more gray to that. This brush is a little soft for what I need, but it's still working.